Welcome and thank you for joining this briefing on why cybersecurity regulations matter. In this presentation, we will explore how rising cyber threats and global compliance efforts intersect, and why organizations must treat regulatory requirements as a practical roadmap for protecting data, maintaining trust, and building resilience as they navigate digital transformation. Digital transformation brings efficiency, innovation, and growth. But it also expands the attack surface through cloud services, remote work, and IoT devices. This slide shows how those business drivers create new vulnerabilities and why regulators respond with standards like privacy and risk frameworks to address severity and frequency of threats, helping organizations close gaps and manage evolving risks. Cybersecurity regulations are legal mandates that require organizations to protect data and systems by adopting minimum security practices and accountability measures. Globally recognized standards such as data protection rules, healthcare privacy laws, and payment security standards set consistent expectations, and their primary role is to enforce baseline practices while ensuring organizational resilience and protection of personal, financial, and health information. Regulations vary by sector, so it helps to compare them side by side. Privacy rules focus on consumer data and affect finance and retail. Healthcare regulations protect patient records and address ransomware risks, and payment standards secure card transactions and prevent fraud. Each framework targets specific threats and delivers tailored compliance value, like trust, legal protection, and operational continuity. Failing to comply carries direct financial and legal consequences, from hefty fines and regulatory investigations to class action lawsuits and operational disruption claims. Organizations can also face loss of licenses or government contracts and damage to accreditation. The slide highlights that real-world penalties in litigation emphasize why proactive compliance is both a legal necessity and a business imperative to avoid costly fallout. Regulatory enforcement centers on practical protocols like encryption, access controls, and breach response procedures, which together safeguard personal, financial, and health data. By enforcing standards and mandating controls, regulations reduce data exposure risk and create a foundation of trust that helps organizations demonstrate reliability and meet stakeholder expectations in an increasingly scrutinized digital landscape. A robust compliance program combines proactive mandates, rapid incident response, and reliable backup strategies to minimize downtime and operational disruption. Regular audits, clear communication plans, and validated recovery processes speed restoration, preserve trust, and demonstrate regulatory confidence, showing that preparedness not only limits impact but also supports ongoing business continuity and quicker recovery. Consumers expect strong data protection as a baseline and will quickly abandon brands after breaches, with recent surveys showing a large majority would walk away. Demonstrating compliance through certifications and visible security practices signals reliability, helps retain existing customers, attracts new ones, and builds brand trust by turning security efforts into a competitive and reputational advantage. Treating regulatory adherence as a strategic asset helps organizations stand out in crowded markets. A solid compliance framework can unlock partnerships, attract investor interest, and open public sector opportunities while differentiating a business from competitors. In short, compliance can be more than a regulatory burden. It can be a deliberate growth enabler that strengthens credibility and market access. Meeting regulatory requirements is not without challenges. Many organizations contend with legacy systems that lack modern security features, complex vendor ecosystems that increase multi-party risk, and overlapping jurisdictional rules that complicate compliance. These obstacles underscore the importance of prioritizing resources and building structured compliance efforts to address gaps across technology, partners, and legal regimes. Achieving and maintaining compliance requires a continuous improvement approach built on 4 pillars: risk assessments to identify and prioritize vulnerabilities, staff training to reduce human error, regular audits to test controls, and updated policies that reflect findings and new regulations. This governance loop helps organizations mature their security posture and turn compliance into an ongoing operational capability. In conclusion, framing compliance as a strategic investment yields three key benefits: resilience through robust defenses and recovery capabilities, innovation by enabling secure adoption of new technologies, and trust by strengthening stakeholder confidence and reputation. As threats evolve, so will regulations, and organizations that embed compliance into their culture will be better positioned for long-term growth and stability.